Wait, there's Great Wall here, and okay, even here. I can guarantee you, these sections are 100% real. Hi, I'm David Ding, your private China tour guide. I've shown thousands of travelers from around the world the very best of China. And I'm also a silver medalist from the Chinese National Tour Guide Contest 2025. Today, I'm breaking down some of the most incredible sections of the Great Wall, where they are, how to get there, and what you can expect. So you can figure out which one is right for you. Let's start with the Great Wall around Beijing. Number 1. Huanghuacheng. Start with the highlights. It offers a rare combination of a lake, the wall, and mountains, all in one view, which is not the case elsewhere. Meanwhile, it hasn't been overly developed, so it still keeps a bit of that wild charm.
Some of the walls even extend underwater.
And that said, there are a couple of considerations. If your main goal is to climb, it can be challenging with steep terrain and high steps. And taking a sightseeing train is an option, but the views won't quite compare to being on the wall itself. And overall, if scenery is your top priority and you'd rather avoid heavy crowds, Huanghuacheng is your best bet. Number 2. Juyongguan Pass. A contested military site throughout dynasties. In ancient China, a pass fortress was usually built at the only route through difficult terrain so that a small unit of soldiers could hold off a larger one. Its main highlight is you can climb the Great Wall while getting a glimpse into ancient Chinese military history. But it's also worth knowing that there is no cable car. You will have to rely on yourself. And fortunately, the overall climb isn't too difficult. Simply put, if you want to experience the grandeur of a classic fortress-style Great Wall, have a decent level of fitness, and prefer fewer crowds, this is your best bet. Number 3. Jiankou. The ridge at this section curves like a fully drawn bow, and the wall is extremely steep, with some parts rising almost straight up and down. Its biggest draw is its raw, untamed feel. Already packing? Think twice. This is not a developed section, and transportation isn't convenient. Unless you are an experienced outdoor adventurer, I wouldn't recommend going on your own. Instead, you'd better go with a professional tour team. They will have your back, and some even offer the chance to camp up there. Number 4. Badaling. The most iconic section, long been used for official state receptions. And let me start with the highlights. First, it matches what visitors picture when they think of the Great Wall. Magnificent, neat, and stretching continuously over the mountains. Second, it's the most hassle-free. Public transportation, organization, supporting facilities, and mountain rides are very well developed. And third, the climb is relatively easy. Sounds too perfect to be true, right? Stay calm. This place gets extremely crowded, but if your time is limited and you want a convenient and a quick visit and don't mind a bit of crowd, this is the section to choose. Number 5. Mutianyu. The most popular section among foreign visitors. Mariah Carey even climbed it in high heels, and Justin Bieber shot a music video here. Why is it so famous? First, it winds through forests and mountains, offering beautiful scenery that changes with the seasons. And second, it perfectly matches the classic Great Wall image in your mind. And third, while this area is developed for visitors, it doesn't feel overly commercial. However, it's getting more crowded these days. But if it's your first time in China and you want an easy and a convenient way to see the classic Great Wall scenery, this section comes highly recommended. Just avoid Chinese public holidays. Number 6. Simatai. The only section opened to visitors while still largely preserving its original ancient condition. Many of its original bricks and stones remain. Also, a night visit is allowed. As the wall slowly lights up, enjoy a unique and magical experience. And nearby is Gubei Water Town, where you will get the Great Wall view while feeling like you're stepping into ancient China. However, getting there is almost twice the distance of the Great Wall sections we just mentioned. So it's for travelers with plenty of time. Number 7. Jinshanling. This section has been rated one of the most beautiful sections by National Geographic, thanks to its graceful ridges and densely packed beacon towers with rich architectural details. In addition, it retains a sense of authenticity and a bit of its original wildness. The climb is of medium difficulty, the crowds are light, and it doesn't feel overly commercialized. Waiting for the not so perfect part? Okay, it's the farthest section from Beijing, best suited for travelers with plenty of time to spare. And next, we are moving on to some sections in different provinces, but they are absolutely stunning, relatively developed, and fairly convenient to reach. So, if this is your second time visiting China, it's definitely worth checking out. Number 8. Shanhaiguan Pass. Once considered the eastern starting point of the Great Wall, this section was a large-scale military defense system with fortress, walls, granaries, armories, and military camps with family living quarters. Its most famous part is Laolongtou, a social media viral site in China where you can see the Great Wall and the ocean meet. And wondering where the real beginning of the Great Wall is? It's at the Hushan Great Wall, located on the China-North Korea border. And from up there, you can even catch a glimpse of local farming life in North Korea. Number 9. Jiayuguan Pass. Snow-capped mountains, deserts, camels. This is the westernmost end of the Great Wall and once a key passage on the Silk Road. The must-see sites here include the pass, a large-scale defense fortress, the first beacon tower, where military signals began to be passed, and the overhanging Great Wall, served as an important lookout. If you visit, go through a pass checkpoint reenactment. Staff dressed in traditional attire will create a beautifully handwritten travel pass on the spot for you in Chinese calligraphy as an amazing souvenir. Number 10. Yang Pass and Yumen Pass. There are also key gateways along the Silk Road, controlling the movement of troops, envoys, and merchants. In ancient Chinese literature, they often symbolize parting as the threshold where ancient Chinese left behind the familiar world and entered the vast, desolate corridors of the western regions. For today's international visitors, the point is to feel the scale of Chinese history and see how dramatically different the Great Wall can look across mountains, deserts, and frontier landscapes. That's all for today's video. If you still have more questions about any of these Great Wall sections, please feel free to contact us. If you are interested, I will keep sharing more lesser known but fascinating sections of the Great Wall in future videos. Stay tuned and see you in the next one.